Ladies and gentlemen, you have an inner strength that's greater than any challenge you'll face. We all encounter obstacles, difficult seasons, and moments of doubt, but the key to overcoming these struggles lies within you. It's easy to forget that the power to push through hard times is already planted in your heart. Life often tries to convince us that we are powerless, that we are small in the face of the giants that loom before us. But nothing could be further from the truth. You are stronger than you realize. The strength to overcome, to endure, and to rise above any situation is already embedded deep within your spirit. It's natural to feel vulnerable when things aren't going right. It's easy to think that because you're facing difficulties, you're not capable or that you're not equipped to handle it. But remember this, you were born with an incredible capacity to endure, to persevere, and to keep moving forward no matter what comes your way. Life will throw challenges at you. Yes, but you have the tools inside you to face each one with confidence and determination. Your strength doesn't always look like force or outward confidence. Sometimes it's quiet. It's in the persistence, in the courage to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when the path is unclear. Sometimes we don't recognize our strength until we are in the midst of a storm. When things are calm, it's easy to feel like we have everything under control. But when life becomes unpredictable, when things are chaotic and uncertain, that's when your inner strength comes alive. It's in these moments that you discover the depth of your resilience. You realize that the very things you thought would break you are the things that actually make you stronger. You may not always feel powerful in the moment, but if you look back at the obstacles you've already overcome, you'll see the pattern. Time and time again, you've made it through. You've faced challenges before and come out on the other side, wiser and stronger than ever. The key is to tap into that inner strength, to acknowledge it, and to trust that you have everything you need to handle what's in front of you. Life may not always unfold the way you expect, but it doesn't change the fact that you are equipped for the journey. Your strength is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it grows. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen that muscle and to develop the stamina necessary to endure even greater trials. You are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you respond to it. When you choose to believe in your inner strength, you shift from being a victim of your circumstances to being the victor, the one who is empowered to rise above whatever comes your way. Think about the times you felt like giving up, like everything was too much. In those moments, it felt like the weight of the world was on your shoulders. But you survived. You made it through, and you learned something valuable about yourself along the way. The tough seasons don't last forever. Every trial you face is temporary, but the strength you develop from it is permanent. It shapes who you are. It molds you into a stronger person, and it prepares you for what's ahead. You may not see it now, but the challenges you are going through are not just random struggles. They are stepping stones, each one designed to build you up, to help you discover the power that already exists within you. Sometimes the greatest battles we face are not in the external world, but in our own minds. The negative thoughts, the doubts, the feelings of inadequacy, they can all undermine your confidence and make you question your abilities. But your strength is not found in what you see on the surface. It's found in the unseen place, in the quiet moments when you make a choice to believe in yourself despite the doubts. It's in choosing faith over fear, in trusting that you are more than capable of overcoming the obstacles ahead. You have the power to decide how you respond to every situation. Even when things seem impossible, remember that your inner strength is far greater than the challenges you face. You are not helpless. You are not weak. You are strong beyond measure. And when you tap into that strength, there's nothing that can hold you back. So no matter what comes your way, remember this truth: you have everything you need to face it. Your strength is more than enough. You are stronger than any challenge you will ever face. Life will knock you down, but it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. We all face moments where it feels like the world is against us, where the challenges seem insurmountable and the weight of everything pressing on us is just too much to bear. In those moments, it's easy to feel defeated, to believe that the setbacks are signs that we should give up or that we're not capable of moving forward. But true resilience isn't found in the absence of difficulties. It's found in the decision to rise again, even after you've been knocked down. Falling down is a natural part of life. It doesn't mean you failed, and it doesn't mean you're not capable. It simply means that you're in the process of growth, that you're learning and developing, and that you're being prepared for the future ahead of you. Each fall, each setback is not a reflection of your worth, but an opportunity to rise stronger than before. It's in the getting back up that you discover the true power of your spirit. It's in the moments when you feel at your lowest that you have the chance to tap into the deepest well of strength within you. You are not defined by your falls, but by your ability to get back up again. There is no such thing as a perfect journey. We all encounter roadblocks. We all face difficulties, disappointments, and struggles that challenge us and sometimes make us question whether it's worth continuing. But here's the secret. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out or have all the answers. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even when it seems like things aren't going your way. Progress doesn't always look like victory after victory. Sometimes it's simply the courage to try again after you've fallen. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding the hard times. It comes from facing them head on and refusing to let them keep you down. It comes from looking at your challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth. Each time you fall, you're learning something new about yourself. You're learning how strong you are, how capable you are of overcoming what's in front of you. You're also learning that no matter how hard it gets, you have the ability to rise again. There's no limit to your ability to keep going. When you're knocked down, it's important to remember that the fall doesn't define you. What defines you is your response to it. Will you stay down or will you rise? Will you allow the disappointment to keep you from moving forward? Or will you find the strength to get up, brush yourself off, and try again? It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if we don't succeed immediately, we're not capable or that we've somehow failed. But that's simply not true. Every successful person, every person who's achieved greatness has fallen many times. They face setbacks, disappointments, and failures just like you. The difference is that they didn't let those falls define them. They chose to rise time and time again. The truth is, the falls are part of the process. They are necessary to our growth. Without them, we wouldn't understand the depth of our resilience, our strength, or our determination. Without those moments of failure, we wouldn't truly appreciate the victories we experience along the way. Every time you fall, you have a chance to reflect, to reassess, and to learn from the experience. It's in the fall that we build character. It's in the fall that we discover who we really are. And it's in the fall that we gain the strength to rise higher. Sometimes the journey feels overwhelming, and it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. When you're in the middle of a struggle, it's difficult to see how this particular setback will lead to something greater. But each struggle is a part of the larger plan. You are not being knocked down by chance. You are being shaped and prepared for something bigger. Your struggles today are the foundation of your successes tomorrow. You may not see it now, but the effort you put in, the persistence you show, and the resilience you build will eventually pay off. The key is to never lose hope. Never lose sight of the fact that your strength is greater than any fall you encounter. It's easy to feel defeated when you're in the midst of a struggle, but that is exactly when you need to dig deep and find the courage to rise. It's not about the size of the fall, it's about the size of your determination to get back up. No matter how many times life knocks you down, you have the power to rise higher, stronger, and more determined than before. The journey may be long and the road may be rough, but your resilience will always carry you through. Keep getting up, keep fighting. Because every time you rise, you grow stronger. Every time you rise, you are one step closer to the victory that's waiting for you. Even when you're alone, trust that everything you go through is preparing you for something greater. Life has a way of presenting challenges that often leave us feeling isolated, as though we are facing everything by ourselves. Whether it's personal struggles, moments of loss, or periods of uncertainty, we can find ourselves questioning why we are going through such hardships. It's in these times when we feel disconnected from others or overwhelmed by our circumstances that it's so important to remember that even in solitude, we are not without purpose. Every single experience, every step of the journey is shaping you into who you are meant to be. Sometimes it's easy to believe that when we are alone, we are forgotten, or that the world is passing us by. We can get consumed by the thoughts of loneliness and start to feel that maybe we're being left behind. But the truth is, solitude is not something to fear. It is not a sign of abandonment. Rather, it's an opportunity for growth, reflection, and self-discovery. It is in these quiet moments, when there's no one else around to distract us, that we can truly hear our own thoughts, understand our hearts, and connect with the purpose that lies deep within us. In the midst of these solitary moments, it can be easy to overlook the lessons and growth that are taking place. But trust that every experience, every challenge, every trial you face in these moments is preparing you for something greater. Nothing is wasted. Even the difficult, uncomfortable times have value. When you look back on the journey, you'll realize that it was during these quiet and often painful times that you were being prepared for the bigger things that lay ahead. These moments of solitude and struggle are the very things that teach you resilience, strength, patience, and faith. They are the moments that carve out the space for you to grow into the person who will be able to handle the blessings and opportunities that are waiting for you. We all go through seasons of feeling alone, whether it's when we face a difficult decision, when we experience a personal loss, or when we are walking through a season of uncertainty. But we must learn to see these times not as punishments, but as preparation. When you're going through something hard, it can feel like a test that has no purpose. It can feel as though the pain is pointless, as if you're walking through it all just to come out on the other side unchanged. But that's never the case. Every challenge you go through is preparing you, whether you see it or not. It is shaping you, refining you, and strengthening you so that you can handle the future that is coming your way. Consider the times when you felt alone or disconnected from others. Maybe it was during a period of loss, a time when you were struggling to find your footing, or perhaps it was during a season of personal doubt. During these moments, it might have felt as though you were being overlooked, as if the world was moving forward while you remained stuck in a place of solitude. But it's often during these very times that we are being prepared for our greatest breakthroughs. These moments are not setbacks, they are setups. They are preparing you for the greatness that's ahead of you. The challenges you face, the solitude you experience, the feelings of being alone are shaping you into a person who is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were before. They are preparing you for the success and fulfillment that you will one day experience. Sometimes when we're walking through difficult seasons, it's easy to feel like we're being tested for no reason. We wonder why we have to face these struggles and why we have to endure them on our own. But what we may not realize in those moments is that every experience is forming us into a person who can handle the blessings that are coming. The isolation, the struggles, the difficult moments are all part of the preparation process. They teach us things we would never learn if everything was always smooth and easy. They show us our own strength, our own resilience, and our own capacity for growth. They prepare us to step into a future that we might not even be able to imagine yet. It's important to trust the process. Even when you can't see what lies ahead, you may not understand why things are happening the way they are, and you may not see how your current situation will lead to something greater. But trust that there is a purpose in every season. Trust that even when you feel like you're walking alone, you are being guided, shaped, and prepared for a future that is far brighter than you can imagine. The lessons you learn in the quiet, solitary moments will be the very things that equip you for the future. Every trial, every period of solitude is preparing you for the person you are becoming. You may not always see it in the moment, but every experience is forming you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Even when you feel alone, know that you are being prepared for something greater. Sometimes solitude brings clarity. Use it as an opportunity to grow, reflect, and find your purpose. In a world that is constantly moving and filled with noise, it can be difficult to hear our own thoughts and truly understand where we are headed. But when we find ourselves in moments of solitude, when the distractions of life fade away and we are left alone with our thoughts, it can be the perfect time to gain clarity. It is in these quiet spaces that we can hear the whisper of our heart, the calling of our soul, and the direction of our purpose. Solitude is not something to fear. It's a gift that allows us to step away from the chaos and recenter ourselves. There's a misconception that solitude is something to avoid, something that is inherently negative. We often associate being alone with feelings of loneliness, isolation, or sadness. But in reality, solitude can be a powerful tool for personal growth. It's in the quiet, when we are free from the noise and opinions of others, that we can connect with our true selves. It's in solitude that we can listen to our intuition, our desires, and our passions without the influence of external pressures. It's in those quiet moments that we can reflect on our journey, our values, and what truly matters to us. When you're alone, you have the opportunity to pause, to reflect on where you've been and where you want to go. You can take a step back and assess your life, looking at the choices you've made, the experiences you've had, and the lessons you've learned. It's in solitude that we often find the space to evaluate whether we are on the right path or if it's time to make a change. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, to stay busy and distracted. But when we allow ourselves time for solitude, we create an environment where we can truly assess our lives and make decisions with clarity. In solitude, we can also reconnect with our deeper purpose. Life has a way of pulling us in different directions, and sometimes we can lose sight of why we're doing what we're doing. We get so caught up in the demands of life, work, relationships, responsibilities, that we forget to check in with ourselves and our true calling. When we are alone, we create space to rediscover that sense of purpose. Solitude allows us to reflect on what drives us, what ignites within us, and what we want to accomplish. It's during these times that we often get a sense of direction, a renewed vision for our lives, and a clear understanding of the path ahead. The quiet moments of solitude also provide us with an opportunity to heal and to grow emotionally and spiritually. Life can be overwhelming, and sometimes the demands placed on us take a toll. We may carry emotional baggage or unresolved feelings that prevent us from moving forward. In solitude, we can confront those emotions, face our fears, and work through the things that are holding us back. It's a chance to process our experiences, to grieve, to forgive, and to find peace. When we allow ourselves the space to feel and heal, we come out stronger, more whole, and more equipped for the future. In solitude, we can learn to trust ourselves and our own decisions. When we are constantly surrounded by others and their opinions, it can be difficult to hear our own voice. We often look to others for validation, seeking their approval and guidance. But solitude teaches us to trust our own judgment, to believe in our own intuition, and to have confidence in the choices we make. It is in these moments of solitude that we realize we have the wisdom and strength within us to navigate life's challenges and to make the decisions that are right for us. Solitude also helps us become more self-aware. When we are alone, we have the chance to take a deeper look at ourselves, to understand our strengths and weaknesses, and to identify areas where we can grow. We can reflect on our habits, our thoughts, and our behaviors and make changes where needed. It's in these moments of reflection that we develop a deeper understanding of who we truly are and what we want out of life. We learn to accept ourselves, flaws and all, and we gain the clarity we need to move forward with confidence. The beauty of solitude is that it allows us to reset, to recharge, and to reconnect with the parts of ourselves that are often drowned out by the noise of everyday life. It's a time to find peace, to reflect, and to refocus on what truly matters. It's in those moments of stillness that we often find the answers we've been seeking, the guidance we've been waiting for, and the clarity we need to continue moving forward. Solitude is not something to be feared or avoided. It is a powerful tool for growth, self-discovery, and clarity. Embrace it. Let it guide you on your journey, help you reconnect with your purpose, and provide the space for you to become the person you are meant to be. In tough times, shift your focus from the problem to the solution. Life has a way of presenting us with challenges that seem insurmountable. There are times when it feels like everything is falling apart, and the weight of the situation is so overwhelming that we can't see a way out. In these moments, it's easy to get caught up in the problem, to focus solely on the difficulties in front of us. We can become consumed by our fears, doubts, and the overwhelming nature of the situation. But the key to overcoming any obstacle is to shift our focus. Instead of being consumed by the problem, we must redirect our attention to the solution. This shift in focus is not about ignoring the challenges we face. It's about choosing to look at things from a different perspective. It's about taking a step back and choosing to look at the situation with a mindset that is focused on finding answers rather than being paralyzed by the problem. When we focus solely on the problem, it can feel like there's no way forward. But when we focus on solutions, we begin to see possibilities, new opportunities, and ways to move forward. It's in the shift that we unlock our creativity, our resourcefulness, and our inner strength. One of the most powerful things we can do when facing difficulties is to take a moment to breathe, to pause, and to gather our thoughts. In the midst of chaos, it's easy to panic, to react impulsively, or to give in to the emotions of the moment. But taking a step back allows us to regain clarity. It allows us to look at the situation objectively and to separate ourselves from the stress and anxiety that often accompany challenges. Once we have clarity, we can then begin to assess the situation and ask ourselves, what can I do to move forward? This simple shift in perspective changes everything. It moves us from a place of helplessness to a place of empowerment. When we focus on the solution, we are no longer at the mercy of the problem. We become active participants in our own journey, taking control of our circumstances rather than letting them control us. We stop dwelling on the things that are out of our control and instead focus on what we can do to improve the situation. This change in focus not only helps us to see possibilities, but also opens up the door for growth. By focusing on the solution, we are forced to think critically, to problem solve, and to be resourceful. It's in these moments of challenge that we learn new things about ourselves and our abilities. It's important to remember that solutions are not always immediate. Sometimes the answer doesn't come right away, and then that's okay. The process of focusing on the solution is just as important as finding the solution itself. It's in the pursuit of solutions that we build resilience. It's in the persistence to keep looking for answers that we learn how to face adversity with strength and courage. Even if the solution isn't clear in the moment, we can take small steps toward improvement. Each step we take toward a solution, no matter how small, brings us closer to the outcome we desire. Another key to shifting our focus from the problem to the solution is learning how to reframe the situation. Often our perception of a problem is what makes it seem so insurmountable. We may view it as an obstacle that we can't possibly overcome, but in reality, it could be an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn, or a door that is opening to something better. By reframing the problem, we change the way we approach it. Instead of seeing it as something that's holding us back, we begin to see it as something that is helping us grow. This shift in perspective not only makes the challenge seem more manageable, but it also empowers us to face it with a positive mindset. Shifting our focus also requires faith. It requires trusting that there's a solution to every problem, even when we can't see it right away. It's easy to become discouraged when the path forward is unclear, but having faith means believing that the answers will come. It's in trusting the process, even when it seems uncertain, that we build the strength to continue. Faith helps us stay focused on the solution instead of getting stuck in the problem. It reminds us that challenges are not permanent and that there is always a way forward, even if we can't see it yet. In tough times, it's natural to want to fix everything all at once, but solutions often come in stages. It's important to remember that the process of moving from problem to solution is rarely instantaneous. We may have to take things one step at a time, but every step we take is progress. As we focus on the solution and continue to look for ways to move forward, we will find that the weight of the problem begins to lighten. Solutions, no matter how big or small, will begin to emerge, and we will start to feel a sense of control over our situation. Choosing to shift your focus from the problem to the solution is not always easy. It requires intentionality, patience, and faith. But when you make that shift, you take back your power. You move from a place of struggle to a place of growth. It is in the solution-focused mindset that we truly find the strength to overcome. You are never truly alone. Even when it feels like you're by yourself, remember that you are always supported by faith, purpose, and your inner strength. Life has a way of presenting us with moments where we feel disconnected, whether it's through personal struggles, isolation, or times of uncertainty. In those moments, it's easy to believe that we are completely alone, that no one understands our pain or our journey. But the truth is, even in those hardest moments, you are never truly alone. There's a deeper support system surrounding you, even if it's not immediately visible or tangible. When life presents us with challenges, it often feels as though we are walking a path without companionship. We may feel like the world is moving on without us, leaving us to face our trials on our own. It's easy in those moments to believe that no one is there to help us, to feel lost and disconnected from everything around us. But one of the most important truths to hold on to is that you are never as isolated as you may feel. Even when it seems like you are walking through a dark valley alone, there is always something greater, something more profound supporting you. You have faith, purpose, and your own inner strength to help guide you through. Faith is one of the greatest sources of support during times of loneliness or struggle. It doesn't matter where your faith lies, whether it's in a higher power, in the process of life itself, or in the belief that things will get better. Faith is a force that connects us to something greater than ourselves. When you feel alone, faith can be the reminder that you are not walking this path by yourself. There's a divine force, a purpose, and a plan that is constantly at work, even when you can't see it. Faith helps us understand that every trial has a greater purpose, that every challenge is leading us somewhere, and that no matter how lonely the journey feels, we are always being guided towards something greater. Purpose also plays a significant role in reminding us that we are never truly alone. When we connect with our deeper purpose, we tap into an energy that transcends loneliness. Purpose gives our struggles meaning. It helps us understand that everything we go through, every challenge we face, is shaping us for something bigger. Even when life seems to pull us in different directions, or when we find ourselves feeling isolated, our purpose remains a constant reminder that we are here for a reason. We may not always see the full picture, but if we trust that we are walking in alignment with our purpose, we can take comfort in knowing that we are on the right path. Purpose gives us the strength to persevere, even when we can't see the next step. At the same time, we often underestimate our own inner strength. In the midst of struggles, it's easy to doubt ourselves, to believe that we are not capable of handling challenges in front of us. We can feel overwhelmed, as though we don't have the strength to keep going. But the truth is, we are far stronger than we give ourselves credit for. It is during the toughest times that we discover our true resilience. When life feels like it's too much, our inner strength rises to meet the challenge. We don't always recognize it in the moment, but every experience we go through, every obstacle we overcome, helps us build an inner reservoir of strength that we can rely on. Your strength is always there, even when you don't see it. Another important truth to remember is that you are never truly alone in this journey, even when it feels like it. It's easy to feel as though no one understands your struggles, but you are always surrounded by people who care, who want to see you succeed, and who are ready to support you in ways that might not always be immediately obvious. Sometimes the people around us may not fully understand what we're going through, but they are there nonetheless, offering love, support, and encouragement. Whether it's a friend who checks in on you, a family member who is always there when you need them, or even someone you've never met who offers a word of kindness, these connections are reminders that you are not alone. Even in moments of solitude, there are people who care and who are there for you, even if their presence isn't always felt. Life also has a way of providing support when we least expect it. Sometimes when we feel most alone, a stranger's smile, a small act of kindness, or an unexpected moment of grace can remind us that we are not walking this path alone. The universe has a way of bringing exactly what we need into our lives, often in ways we don't understand at first. It's in these quiet moments of connection that we realize that we are never truly isolated. The support we need is always there, even if it's not in the form we expect. When you feel alone, remind yourself that you are never truly by yourself. You are supported by your faith, your purpose, your inner strength. and the people around you. Life may bring challenges that make you feel disconnected, but it's in these moments that you are being shaped, tested, and prepared for something greater. Trust that even in your moments of solitude, you are being carried by a greater force and that you are always being guided toward your destiny. You are never alone. And when you remember this truth, you'll find the strength to keep moving forward no matter what comes your way. Keep moving forward, knowing you are equipped to handle anything life throws your way. Stay strong and trust in your journey.